Alright, I'm really busy, but I'm going to do this video because I don't want anybody to experience the same thing I went through with the company Versacarry and their Rancher Carry belt. Okay, I just masking taped over my shipping because I didn't have it shipped to my house, or otherwise I wouldn't care. You can see I paid $89.98 for two belts. I got a $30 discount using their gear discount on Versacarry. Item description, belt, Rancher Carry, double ply, 38 size. So I just got this in the mail a couple days ago. It shipped from Texas. I'm in Ohio right now, so it would cost me like 20 or 30 bucks to ship these back, and it's just not worth my money. They won't pay for the shipping. And that says that if you buy from Versacarry on a discount code, they say unless there's a flaw in the belt, they won't take it back. So I want to be fair to them on that aspect, but there is a flaw in the belt. As in fact, there's many flaws in the belt, and I want to show you this so you don't make the same mistake that I make. All right, the belt on the bottom is a made in China, 1.5 inch thick leather carry belt. Versacarry's is on the top. Okay. The one on top, you can clearly see, if anything, or the one on the bottom, the Chinese one is clearly 1.5 inches wide. Anyone can see that, if not more. It actually looks like it might be an 1/8 or a 1/16 larger. Okay. The Versacarry belt, and I ordered 2 of these, you can clearly see that is 1 3/8 inches wide, and it's not 1.5 inches. You can clearly see that. That belt is 1 3/8 inches. There's no debating it. It's 1 3/8 inches wide, people. Look at that. So you can see, it's 1 3/8 inches, not 1.5 inches as advertised. The cheap Chinese knockoff that I own, over 1.5 inches thick. The Chinese knockoff. Okay. Here's the other problem. This is supposed to be at least 0.23 inches thick, almost 1/4 inch thick. So we're good on most of the belt. And I'll show you, and I'll explain why they did this. It's a cheap manufacturing trick. So, I mean, we're probably good there. I mean, I'm not going to argue that too much. The belt's plenty thick enough, okay? And this is supposed to be buffalo, or water buffalo leather, by the way. Some of the best leather for belts, for its elasticity and toughness, okay? It's supposed to be water buffalo leather, but we'll cover that in a minute. Look right here. Look where that belt is thin right there, where they put that together. You see that? You see how thin that is? You pick that up so you can get a good look at that. Look at how thin. It runs over the half. It runs down to a damn 1/8 inch at least in thickness. Okay? Let me compare it to the cheap Chinese knockoff. Now, the cheap Chinese knockoff gets thin over here past the buckle, so you get a comfortable fit. But as you can see, the cheap Chinese knockoff maintains its integrity all the way up to around the buckle. This one does not, and I'll show you why. That's called a Chicago screw right there. And if you screw these in, because no one will buy a belt unless you can replace a buckle these days, okay? So that's why they did it this way. That Chicago screw ensures that leather, it won't be so tough that it knocks the button off. These are buttons. So what they did, it's a cheap manufacturing trick. They thinned out the leather so the buttons would hold the buckle on. See, they're buttons. And that way they skipped the couple extra cents they would pay for a Chicago screw and actually do the belt realistically, the way it should have been. And you can clearly see that's a Versacarry button right there. Versacarry buttons on it, okay? Now, if I can even find the cheap manufacturer's marks. That's the size of the belt. It's upside down, but it says $38.95. That's their cheap imprint right there, Versacarry. That says Versacarry. I'll just turn it around so you guys can see it correctly. If there was like 9 million people, Versacarry, they make great belts, love my belt, blah, 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 all over Facebook. I searched on YouTube for YouTube videos. Everybody who ordered one on YouTube said, oh, best belt ever, man. If you can get that code and get it for 45 bucks, man, best belt ever. It's a piece of shit. All right. Let me show you. There's the belt size. That's Versacarry's name on their product. That's made in the USA. Now, it's supposed to be double ply. It don't look double ply to me, but whatever. I mean, it might be glued together so well that I can't tell that that's double plied or whatever. It's only 1 3/8 thick. It's got a weak point down there by the buckle where they clearly shave that down to use buttons instead of Chicago screws to securely fasten the belt buckle on. And that creates the problem with that is it creates a weak spot. Look at this. I haven't even worn, this belt's brand new, haven't even worn it. You see that crease right there? You see what it's doing to that leather? You see those wrinkles? Guess where the belt's gonna give when you put some load-bearing pressure on it? It's gonna give right there. It's already giving there. They rolled it up into a ball, like a snake ball, in packaging, and it gave from the packaging of the belt, people. That's how thin it is again. It's fucking terrible. It's a piece of shit. So, obviously, that's where when you bear load, like if you're a security guard, you want to carry a nightstick, you know, you got your mag light on there or whatever lights people carry these days, your gun, your extra magazines, your handcuffs, blah, blah, blah. Right there's where that belt's going to give. Okay, so they would not pay for my shipping to ship this back. And from Ohio to Texas would be like $20 shipping. So, I'm just going to keep the belt. But I'm a dissatisfied customer, and I wanted you to know why. And look, this looks like cheap bonded leather. By the way, there's scratches all over it. I mean, it's just a terrible design. It looks like they punched the holes decently. I'll give them that. The stitching doesn't look bad. But, I mean, it's just, it looks like bonded leather to me. It don't even look, I mean, compare it to this cheap Chinese knockoff. And this is what I was told water buffalo would look like, that it had grain like this. This cheap Chinese one seems to have water buffalo on the inside of it. And the outside is just, it's a beautiful leather. Everything feels right. And I think this does say China on it somewhere. I'm not sure. That's neither here nor there. You can see the difference. You know, for illustration, you saw the way the belts are, and you can clearly see that this one's way better. It's going to bear a load, or this one's way better. It's going to be better load bearing. It maintains the same thickness and integrity. It's got Chicago screws there. The buckle's like a brushed midnight chrome or whatever. I like that buckle better too. But the Chicago screws, it's a Chinese belt. It's better quality leather. It's actually over 1.5 inches in thickness. You can clearly see there, it's over 1.5 inches in thickness. Where this Versacarry thing is a piece of junk, you can see the thickness goes down there, like I said before, because they wanted to use buttons to fasten that buckle in there instead of Chicago screws. And right there is where the belt's going to give. Right there where that crease is. That's where it's going to give. You can see that. You can see the bend marks in it already. From where it's going cheap. It's already creasing. It's going to rip there. It looks like cheap bonded leather. It's supposed to be water buffalo. And, I mean, that's really all I have to say about that. The buckle's okay. It's the world's okayest stainless steel buckle. That's what I got to say about Versacarry. I wish somebody would have done this video and told me the truth. That's why I'm taking time out of my day. I'm in a rush. That's why I'm doing such a slapdash job. But I wish somebody would have taken time out of their day and did a 10-minute video of why Versacarry Rancher carry belts are terrible and you should never waste your money buying them. They're a terrible company. They would not refund my credit card and they wanted me to pay shipping to send it back. And I sent them pictures and clearly described to them and showed them with a tape measure that this belt was 1 3/8 inches long. They're deceptive when they say it's 1.5 inches long on their website. And it's a terrible design and all that, but they could get by with that design flaw is okay, by the way, the verbiage in their contract. I would have to reluctantly keep that belt. That's not a design flaw. It being 1 3", only 1 3/8 wide is. But again, I just wish somebody would have done me the favor of making a video and telling me why this belt was a piece of crap, because you buy it, you think you're getting a good deal on it. All the reviews say it's an excellent carry belt, and I just showed you all the reasons why it's not. It's only 1 3/8 thick. The customer care was absolutely terrible. It's got buttons instead of Chicago screws, so they could cut time in manufacturing by just shaving this down and thinning this out and using buttons instead of Chicago screws like it should have in it. Anyways, okay. I'm going to cut this video short. I got a lot to do today, but I just couldn't, in good conscience, not do a video and describe to people what a terrible company Versacarry is. All right, I hope you have a great week. Bye.